Back on the Auto Trader pregame, we've got Cavaliers and Hornets coming up shortly after the top of the hour. Got one of the all-time great defensive players, the Glove, here in the set, in the studio with us, and we thought we'd tap into your expertise. If you're facing off with the Cavaliers right now, it's your assignment to deal with LeBron James, how do you go about that?
Well, with his size and how big he is over all the other guards, you wouldn't want him to be on the forward anyway because they couldn't do anything with him. Right now, what they're doing is they're more scared of LeBron than anything because they let him get a full head of steam and get to the bucket a lot. What you have to do is make him uncomfortable. And as me and you come, Greg, and you're LeBron, Greg, so we're here. What they're doing now is what he does. He sits up, and what he does, he bags up. Yeah, so when he bags up, we have to come up and you got to crowd him. You have to make him always uncomfortable with what he's doing. You can't let him bag up and then come at you with a full head of steam.
Right.
I would get up into him and make him just go one way. You know, this way is not a good way because he can see everything. So I will make him go here. And then, you know, the baseline is your friend because it's another player. So if he comes this way, we keep going, have somebody come, and we want him to get the ball out of his hand. Well, this is what we want to do. Then if he starts to try to go to the bucket, you know he's uncomfortable all the time because he's always trying to do this to get fouls. You just play him straight up. When he goes up, contest all of his shots and make him do this. Then if he wants to start bagging up to you, you bag him, he bags up. Then you get right here with him, but you stop him. You put him there. You don't let him bag you in. You got to make him stop him and make him do fadeaway jump shots, which I would live with LeBron James shooting fadeaway jump shots.
Sure.
That's what I want him to do. Then if you get in any trouble, foul him. As you know, he's not pretty much of a good free throw shooter, which is his only flaw in his game.
Right.
When you get him to the free throw line, I'd rather for him be on the free throw line and I fouled him a little bit and keep crowding him. You have to make him uncomfortable. It's just like what Cleveland did to Kerr, and they made him very uncomfortable, hitting him, bumping him. If we can get LeBron to start crying to the referees and get him out of his game, I've done what I needed to do. I got him out of his game. I got him worrying about other things, and then I can defend him. And that's what they have to do.
You know, early in his career, conventional wisdom was that you just want to make him a jump shooter. And you saw, remember the Spurs did that in the 07 finals, successfully, obviously. He's gotten better at it. I guess it's still the lesser of the poisons you have to choose from. But how has that strategy changed over the years?
Well, his confidence has got very high now. And he's shooting jump shots, and that's what he's doing now, and he's making it. But I still rather have a LeBron James shoot jump shots than get in here and create fouls and start commotion in here. Because once he gets in here, he can start picking you apart. He can throw the dimes, he can throw the lobs, he can do whatever he wants. You cannot have a player like at his caliber to do whatever he wants to do. You have to make him very uncomfortable. Don't give him everything. You got to give him one thing. And once you give him one thing, and if you get him shooting fadeaway jump shots, uncomfortable, if he makes that, I live with that.
Sure.
I live with that all night long. But if you got him getting fadeaway jump shots, making them, coming up here, picking people apart, they're making jump shots, and he's doing everything he wants, then you will never win against him. So I'd rather for him to shoot jump shots right now and shake and jeer and wiggle and do all of that if he makes them, and I'd rather for him to do that than him to pick me apart with everything in his arsenal.
And, you know, last night was really the best game plan I've seen against him. And to Gary's point, the stuff that Gary talked about, what makes it tough is that you've got to be physically strong enough to be able to do it.
Right.
Gary and I probably couldn't do it.
No.
At our side. Like, that's the problem, because when you to have a guy strong enough to do it, there are very few guys in our league that have the lateral quickness. Kawhi Leonard is a guy who physically can do it. And Kawhi has had success making him uncomfortable. And to Gary's point, the one thing you always want to do with a great player is make them settle. Because when they start settling, when LeBron starts shooting fadeaways, he's telling you you're affecting him. Any great player, like if I'm guarding Gary, because that's my game plan against a great player, it is to make him shoot the least effective shot he's got.
Right.
And so if I get him to do that, he's telling me what I'm doing is working. And that's what we saw a lot with last night. He settled. And if you can get any great player, if you can get LeBron to settle for his weakness, that means you've done your job. Eric Spoelstra talked about it. No, you're not going to completely stop the guy.
You can't stop anyone.
No great player you can't. Yeah. But what you can do is if you can make them settle for the least effective shot, that means that the other guys are affected because their teammates know when they're settling.
Right. And then you see with Miami they're crowded him, and they all they contested all his shots. They didn't let him play by himself. Everybody was around him, and that's why the game made it very difficult for him yesterday.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade was there to, at every turn because he knows LeBron's game.
Right.
Right. The one thing you said I can relate to, foul him. that I can do, right? I mean,
Hall of Fame foul.
I could get that foul. LaMarcus Aldridge became the latest